Hey everybody, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich with an update on our cold and snow that's heading our way this weekend. Obviously, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this. I want to do a quick one just to kind of give you an update on how things have changed and really how they haven't changed. Let's get right to what's going on. The one thing all of us felt this morning, obviously, was the cold front. It's still back to the northwest, but we had a band of pretty good storms come through. Those storms have now raced near the coast. They're way ahead of the main front, which is just now entering the mountains. And you could see the cloud cover there. Pretty big storm system to our north today. This is the leading edge of the Arctic air, so big snowstorm in the northeast. If you're flying up there, make sure you call ahead. The bigger story with this front is the cold air that's coming in behind it. And you could see that's a pretty monster high. In fact, that high, 1,049 millibars. That is a strong Arctic high by any stretch of the imagination, any time of year, let alone in the month of March. Very strong high pressure. You could see it wedging itself down and pushing the cold air into the southeast and into the middle of the country. This is the cold air mass that's going to set up our weekend storm. Our weekend storm, two parts to it right now. The first part is down here over the Gulf Coast of Texas. The second part is up here. This is the northern branch of the jet stream. It's going to come down here. It's going to sync up with this southern branch, and these are going to move to the east pretty quickly. The whole time, cold air is going to be being pushed into the region from this Arctic high up to the north as it moves in. So let's show you how this unfolds on our model chart. So this is basically the NAM model, which I am, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in, which I am looking at for at least the temperature profile. I don't know if I buy the precipitation amounts, but I like the setup in the NAM. It did pretty good with our last storm in January. And I like the way it's handling this. So we'll show you the radar first. Let me back this up. And I've got the isobars on there as well, so you can see basically the pressure. So you see the two pieces of energy. They're already coming into view. Northern branch, southern branch, and then you can see the storm forming right in here. In fact, the low pressure is trying to form just south of Dallas, Texas there. As we go into tomorrow morning, this is going to be at 7 o'clock in the morning. You could see the pieces coming together. Northern energy, southern energy, and look at the cold air being pushed down. You see these isobars? That's the high up here pushing cold air into the southeast. In fact, let me turn on the temperatures, and you can see the cold air that gets pushed in to the Carolinas. So the setup is there. We've got the cold air, and now we're waiting for the system to develop back towards the west. So let's go out tomorrow afternoon. This is where we start to see maybe some high-end snow, some high-level snow in the mountains start to move in by the afternoon. And this is what could really get the mountains some higher totals, because this is going to be a fast moving system, but the fact that it starts in the mountains quicker could mean the totals could pile up. You see, as we go into tomorrow evening, we're still not even in the heart of the storm. This is 7 p.m. Saturday night. There's our system developing. Low pressure is developing somewhere down in here. I don't know if it's developing there, but it's probably right in here. But here's the band of cold air and snow, rain in here, and this is all pushing off to the east pretty quickly. We go towards about 10 o'clock Saturday night. We'll go to 1 o'clock in the morning, and here we'll zoom in and we start to see the snow breaking out. Again, this is a fast-moving system. Remember, we set our clocks ahead Saturday night, so at 2 a.m. it jumps to 3 a.m. We'll jump to about 4 or 5 in the morning, and you can see the big snow band to the north. Now, again, there could be something falling here, even down in here. Don't take this is just a model. This is guidance. We're looking for a general pattern here. We go towards 8 a.m. and you can see the snow spreading across the Carolinas. And I don't think the snow line will be this far south. It could be. I think it's going to be more right here. There could be some mixing in here, but no accumulation. This is really where the main game is going to be up to the north. So we go into about 11 o'clock Sunday morning, and you can see the heavy snow band. Now, if there's going to be snow further south, it's going to be as the low cranks up and cold air gets pulled in here. So we could see some heavier snow develop in this region on the northwest side. And here's the tough part about this forecast is we're going to see likely a deformation zone or maybe some what we call mesoscale banding going on here that could enhance snowfall. And that's honestly something you can't see until it actually starts to form. We know it's going to happen somewhere, but we don't know where just yet. So that's something we got to keep an eye on Sunday morning. Then it moves out really quickly, pushes off to the east, and then it's gone. But behind it, incredibly cold air moves in on the backside of the system. So how much snow are we talking about? I'm still very confident in my forecast from yesterday. I'm having a tough time changing this. I really think the mountains will get the bulk of the snow up here. This is where it's kind of wishy-washy. I honestly could have put 1 to 4 inches in there. And here, even though it says a dusting, if you look up here, it's really a trace to a 1/2 inch, which is possible. The one area that we have to watch, as I mentioned, I'll move my face out of the way here, would be down in here. If we get a band to form back here as the low cranks up on the coast, then there could be some heavier amounts down here or even in here. But that's something you can't see until we actually get to the day of the event. So that's what I'm sticking with right now. The snow meter's at 1. We're getting the new model runs this morning. The midday model runs will come in. Now that the system is over the U.S., we're going to start seeing it develop, and we can see if this is going to trend one way or the other. But for the Charlotte area, I'm not looking at a huge deal. Snow will fall, likely accumulate on grass briefly and be done and melt. This is not going to be a big deal. Winter storm watches are already up for the mountains. If we're going to see anything around here, it could be a winter weather advisory, possible winter storm watch here. But overall, the impacts on the roads will be minimal. It's just about snow in March and cold air. To me, the cold air, the biggest story of all. Hope you're having a great Friday. Please stay tuned to my Facebook, my Twitter feed, Snapchat, Instagram. I'll be all over it as we go through the weekend. We'll have you covered as we get ready for winter in March. Have a great Friday, everybody.